Good morning. This review is for my Honors Integrated 1 class, but before I get started, I want to say I hope that everyone is doing all right out there. I do know the title of this lesson is going to be going over the Unit 7 practice test, and we have one goal for today, and that's to go over the Unit 7 practice test. Alright, so I have on the board my best drawing of the picture that goes with problem 1 and problem 2. And problem 1 is asking you to write a rule that represents a reflection over the y-axis, a 90-degree rotation, and then a translation of 4 to the right and up 3. Okay, so let's just do some review here. All right. I know that a reflection over the y-axis means that my object flips over the y-axis, and so what that's going to do is it's going to change the sign of the x value. So xy is going to map to minus x comma y. I know that a 90-degree rotation is counterclockwise. And for example, if I have this point, how do I say this? If I had this point and I rotated it, what's going to happen is the coordinates are going to switch and the sign of the first coordinate is going to become negative. So, and we have these rules written down. So, have all the rules written down. Have them all written down. And this guy, I'm telling you that xy maps to x plus 4 and y plus 3. All right. So these are the rules that I'm using in this particular problem, but I am allowed to use any of the reflection rules. X-axis, y-axis, y equals x and y equals negative x. Rotation rules, 90 degree, 180, 270, or negative 90, negative 180, or negative 270. And you have to know how to read a vector or something in component form in order to understand what I'm meaning, what is meant by that. All right, so let's go ahead and do the first problem here. I'm going to grab a marker that's not running out of ink here. So if I start with my ordered pair, then I'm going to reflect it, then I'm going to rotate it, and then I'm going to translate it. So hopefully you understand how to write the sequence of rigid motions, right? All right, so I did problem 1. Let's do problem 2. Find the coordinates for triangle ABC after using this. All right, so first off, coordinates for A. Let me learn how to read a graph. It's 1, 2. Coordinates for C are 5, 6. And the coordinates for B is negative 3, 4. Alrighty, so let's start off with A. A, which is 1, 2, goes to A prime. So this is telling me to make my x value negative. Y value stays the same. This one's telling me to take whatever I have, switch it, and change the sign of the y value. So now this becomes negative 2, negative 1. Oh, this is A double prime. And then I want to slide it 4 to the right and up 3. So A triple prime is going to be minus 2 plus 4, that gets me to plus 2. And minus 1 plus 3 gets me to plus 2. Okay. Let's look at B. B, which is negative 3, comma 4, that goes to B prime. So I'm going to, this is telling me to change the sign of the x and leave the y. So now my negative becomes positive, so it becomes 3, 4 when I reflected it. Now I go to B double prime. And whatever I have, I switch the order and I change the sign of my y value. So this becomes negative 4, comma 3. And then I'm going to add 4 to my x and then add 3 to my y. So this becomes B triple prime 0 because I added 4 and it's 6. All right. And let's see here. C, what does C do? What does C do? It's not just a jet ski, right? 5, 6. All right, so 5, 6. I change the sign when I reflect, so it becomes C prime is negative 5, comma 6. I rotate it in the 90 degrees clockwise rotation, so I switch the x and the y and change the sign of the y. All right, and that becomes negative 6, negative 5. Oh, C double prime. Negative 6, negative 5. And then that goes to my translation as C triple prime. And that's, I'm going to add 4 to my negative 6. So that gives me negative 2. And I'm going to add 3 to my negative 5. And that gets me to negative 2. All right. So these are the coordinates for triangle ABC using a sequence of transformations that I created from problem 1. All right, so hopefully that answers problem 1 and problem 2 for you. I'm going to clean this up, come back, and set up problem 3 and problem 4, and explain what I'm looking for with that. So let me clean this up, and I'll be back. I'm back. So let's go ahead and go through this problem 3 and problem 4, and we needed to use this picture to answer problem 3 and problem 4. So write a congruent statement for the triangles, which is pretty straightforward to do. You just have to make sure the letters are the parts are in corresponding positions, meaning they're next to the same things. Okay, so the way that I like to write a congruent statement is I start with one triangle. Okay, that would be my recommendation. Start with one triangle. And so I'm just going to call this triangle, and I'm going to go in order. I'll go angle C, I'll call this triangle CED. Okay, so triangle CED. So the angle between the 1 and the 3 matches up to angle R because they're congruent, and R is between the 1 and the 3. So this is going to be congruent to R. C, the one with the 2 marks, is between the 1 and the 2. S is the one with the 2 marks between the 1 and the 2. So so E is corresponding to S. And then Q, the one with the 3 marks, is matches up to the angle with the 3 marks, which is between the side of the 2 marks, the side of the 3 marks, and the side of the 2 marks. I'll learn the difference between 2 and 3. RSQ, okay. So this is my congruent statement. This is all I want from problem 3. Now I want you to list all the congruent corresponding parts. Right? This is in the same position. If I have, I'll just use the order. So we'll talk about the angles. Angle C is congruent corresponding to angle R. Angle E is congruent corresponding to angle S. And angle D is congruent and corresponding to angle Q. All right, let's talk about the sides. Side CE is congruent corresponding to side RS. Side ED is congruent and corresponding to side SQ. Side ED, I hope I said that. And finally, side DC is congruent and corresponding to side QR. That's what I'm looking for in problem 4. I don't think this is too difficult, but remember, I do reserve the right to add a couple questions that I don't talk about. So there might be something I add to this that we don't see. We'll see if anything comes to mind. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Hopefully you understand what hopefully you understand what I'm looking for. And again, I hope everyone's having a good day out there. I hope everyone's doing okay. How do I end it? Yeah, I hope everyone's doing all right out there. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. Can you tell it's been a long day? Can you tell?